And we are live.
Ooh. Any music?
Welcome. I can if you want me to.
I'm just
Might as well.
asking.
Well, let's jam for a minute.
You started this shit, so I'm going to do it.
Oh
Crank
boy, what
that up.
to 11, baby?
Damn, Jack's going off.
I was going to tell you 80s porn.
What's he going off to though? Well, I can't hear anything.
He was deafened by the greatness.
Yeah, that's enough of that shit.
Wow.
Welcome to the 19th padded room. We've done 19 of these damn things.
Are you
Wow.
kidding me?
Nope, 19.
Holy Toledo! Let's multiply that times 2. That gives us how many hours for someone that can actually do math in their head?
That's almost a 40-hour work week. The viewers will never get back.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
That's right. Damn straight. Well, actually more than that because we always go over.
Yeah.
Now, today, our topic is 80s horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
I like
And-
this.
And
I'm
Jen,
all in.
Jen is going to hate this. And I'll tell you why.
Because they're all the movies that suck.
No.
Because she's too young.
The best advice I've ever been given,
Oh, no.
the best advice I've ever been given about writing is to tell the story as if I was watching it in a movie.
Oh, fuck.
In order to do that, you need to watch a lot of movies. The entire movie.
Right.
Jennifer.
Not just the opening credits and
You
then go
need-
to sleep.
You need to see how they're put together. So here's what I would suggest that you do, Jen. Find
Cocaine.
Movies, find movies you. Well, there is that, I suppose. Seems a bit extreme, but well.
Yeah.
Got to do what we got to do, Jeff. Got to do what we got to
We
do.
at the padded room do not condone the use of drugs. I just want to put that out there.
No, not at all. No, we don't condone the use of drugs. Ever.
Uh-huh.
But anyway.
Nobody does drugs in this room.
No.
Bullshit.
Here is what I suggest you do, Jen. Find half a dozen movies you've already seen that you've watched from beginning to end.
That's
I'm
like
for
3.
sure going to go to sleep then. I've already seen it.
Damn
You
it.
never watched a movie more than once.
Oh, no. I have.
Bambi
So-
doesn't count.
So watch movies that you enjoy. Doesn't matter what the genre is. And pay attention to the way they're put together.
Okay.
To the way the story unfolds and is constructed.
Where they chop it up.
That will teach you
Yeah,
a
don't
lot
watch
about-
anything from the last 10 years because they haven't got a
It's all
fucking
garbage.
clue how to do films or anything.
Yeah.
They are
Well, no, hey,
utter
now the Marvel
failures.
movies were fantastic. I'm sorry, the Marvel movies are fantastic.
Speaking of movies, John Wick.
Some of them are.
4
The
is
latest
coming out
ones
next
are
year.
absolute
Mhm.
blank.
John Wick 4, gratuitous
The,
violence.
the latest ones.
Wait, which one?
John Wick.
John Wick.
Oh,
4.
yeah. Number 4 is coming out. That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
I've never
Yeah.
seen the first
I
one.
have seen
Really?
those start to finish.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Nice
I
job.
got the trailer for it. The one of the big bads kind of caught my eye. I'm waiting to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
All right, well, here's my Jennifer Amato moment. I've never seen the first John Wick.
Fuck off.
Yep.
You missed out. It is.
Wow.
You're not allowed to kill a dog. I'm sorry. I'm out. I'm done. Nope.
Yeah, but
That
it's what
is-
he does after that you really got to pay attention to because that would
That
motivate
is
a lot of
really a
animal
very-
lovers.
Fast forward past that bit.
It's the whole it's the whole aspect of the movie, but it really is only a very small sliver of the actual movie that you're watching.
hmm
So honestly, it'll and they don't show it.
But
Yeah,
that's
in
the
that
one.
defense, the dog's death is never on camera.
Yeah.
No.
But that's the one time you can kill a dog and get
And
away
on
with
a
it
positive,
because
It's
the
feeling the
entire
hatred.
movie, the
Mhm.
entire movie is based on the fact they killed his dog.
Yeah,
Now he's gonna go out and kill one hell of a lot of people.
the
I would
entire
be
all
John
4
Wick.
movies.
You killed my dog, motherfucker. Time for you to
everyone,
die.
everyone.
And I would take them all out with a Thompson machine gun.
Yeah.
He does pretty good with his
What?
two guns that he has.
But anyway,
Yeah.
80s horror movies.
Oh, can I start, please? Because I got
Oh,
my favorite one of all time. Obviously, my favorite character from horror movies of all time is Jason Voorhees. Everybody loves Jason. Jason is Jason. But guys, I'm telling you now, one of the most underrated cult classics of all time is the Phantasm series. The Tall Man
love it.
is a character that to me should be, when they do the Mount Rushmore, Chucky's ass got to go. Tall Man needs to be up there. But then, of course, there's others we're going to discuss throughout, I'm sure. But to me, the way the Phantasm series was created, especially the very first movie, which was in the 70s, and then, of course, Phantasm 2 in the 80s, and it was so good, was that they kept it really dark. There's some funny lines between the characters here or there, but for the most part, it's pretty dark. Even the music, the way it plays out, it's just got this ominous feel, this thing that just makes you go, oh, something bad is about to happen at any moment.
I got that theme for my phone. That's my ringtone. Phantasm.
So that music it's like the Halloween theme, how it just kind of gets into you when you start hearing it. It's there. It's physical. It's tangible. You can poke it. It's really there. And to me, Phantasm is one of those movies that needs to be re-released again and put in major theaters to get these new generation to see this. A classic. It's an absolute classic.
Yeah, but then you start throwing that idea out there, Jack, and then some Hollywood douchebag is gonna remake the original.
Yeah, he's gonna try to remake it.
It's like, fuck you.
No,
but I will say this, Jack. Keep an eye on your local theaters, because Don Coscarelli does go around the country, shows the 4K print in a movie theater, and you get to talk to the dude.
Well, now we got two places where that kind of happens on the regular. One's in Franklin, Tennessee. One's in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Far as I know, they haven't come through. Of course, I could have missed it. It's not like I'm, a zeitgeist. Right. I got my finger on the pulse of everything happening out there. But I'll definitely do that, because if they show up either in Franklin or Murfreesboro, I'll make the trip.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I went down to Alamo Drafthouse when they came, so I got to meet him, another producer who actually owns the Drafthouse chain, and then I got to watch Phantasm on a big movie screen, which I hadn't seen since 1970, 8, 9.
Yeah.
And it was the 4K, and the sound is even more amazing, because you remember how you could always hear the little brown guys running around?
Oh yeah.
Now that you can really hear them, God, those things are freaking terrifying. The noise that they make.
Yeah.
I was like, shit myself. Oh, by the way, Camp Crystal Lake shirt, Jason.
See what I said? But again, Jason gets all the love. Freddy gets all the love, and Chucky. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the Child Play movies. They're fun, whatever. But I would punt that little. I'd punt that little bastard in the face.
That's what my question is. Why the hell do you not just kick the shit out of him and send him across the park?
Mm-hmm.
He's like 2 foot tall.
He's a freaking doll.
You're telling me you can't punt the bitch? You can.
Yeah, or throw a blanket over him.
Yeah, I never understood those movies. Ever.
Hell, I'll put two things together. We throw the blanket over him, and then we freaking do him like Jason did that chick in that one fucking movie and just slamming him against a tree. It's like he's a doll.
There's
Exactly.
a great episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer where they're in a haunted house, and naturally weird shit starts to happen.
Of course.
And it turns out that this is being caused by a demon. So they spend the entire episode building up towards when they see the demon. And when the thing finally appears, it's about this tall.
Oh, I remember that one. He
I
was all
must have missed
talking
that one.
shit, and then
I ain't
it cans up, and you see him. He's like that big.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
And then somebody stomps on it.
Buffy had some good episodes. That one,
Hey,
I
look,
think it's-
I'm not gonna lie, and I'm so happy to know that the two of you are Buffy fans because I was a closet Buffy fan. Like I didn't want anybody to know that I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like
really?
no, because it wasn't cool down here in the South. Boy, what the hell you watching that Buffy show? Boy, that's some chick show. I don't know what the hell you doing. So I kept that shit secret. Turns out I wasn't alone the whole time. Freaking awesome.
You're usually not.
And Spike was one of my favorite characters, by the way. I love
Yeah, Spike was awesome. I liked it when I saw that actor in the remake of House on Haunted Hill. Remember when he played the cameraman at the beginning for the news guy when they got in the elevator? You guys saw that one, right?
I haven't watched that one.
I'm sure Jen's seen the poster.
I've seen the original, but I haven't.
I may have watched that one.
She fell asleep against the wall after
No,
she read
I
it.
may have watched that one. This is before I had kids, so I think
Oh, yep. That would work.
I actually was awake the whole time.
But
Cool.
that's 90s. So let's go to 80s again.
We got to back it up. Hang on,
Yeah.
hang on, hang on,
And
hang on.
then go to
I'll-
my favorite movie, my favorite horror movie of all time, John Carpenter's The Thing.
Ah, yeah, I love it. I even
Another
like the original.
another movie where a bad thing happens to a dog.
Yeah, but it was really cool.
And you don't really see much.
It was really cool.
You just see the
Hey, I
dog.
don't like dog deaths either, but if you're gonna kill a dog, that's how you do it.
That's the way to do it. Absolutely.
You have a monster crawling out of his ass, not his ass, his body.
No,
I need
Yeah,
to
but look-
stop you, Jason.
He
You were
he
gonna
went
go
right
down the
there.
road.
He went right there.
Monster case of anal leakage.
The
Yes.
Thing is a true horror story. And the mark of a true horror story is you get to the end of it, and the first words out of your mouth is, "Oh, that's just fucked up."
Mm.
Yeah.
There is no happy ending to that
Mm-mm.
movie.
Mm-mm.
It's like the movie version of The Mist. You
Yeah.
get to the end of The Mist. Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was
Yeah.
one of the most fucked up endings I'd seen in a long time.
And
Yeah.
that's a true horror story.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question then. And this goes out to the entire group. Why would someone want to write something that ended that way?
Because not
Because-
everything's a happy
Because
story.
it's so
No matter-
fucked up.
No matter who you are, a lot of people will still pick up a book or watch a movie or whatever. And maybe it comes from childhood or waste something you were convinced of that it all works out in the end. Bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
think the ending to The Thing was great because you can take it different ways. First off, wow, nobody lived, fucked up. Or, God, those two guys are heroic because they're just going to let themselves freeze to death so that this shit don't get out to the world. That's pretty cool too. But other way, you don't feel good when the movie's over. You're just like, wow.
Yeah, but you also get to the end of that, and you're not sure if one of them isn't the thing.
Right. Which is why they're like, okay, let's just sit here and watch the fire for a while. Okay, so Jeff, what was your impression of that? Because personally, I thought they were. My thoughts are, neither one was infected.
That's what I thought.
That was Dan's version.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Childs. Maybe, maybe not. McCready wasn't. Childs, maybe.
Yeah, but the early '80s, you weren't allowed. Oh no, that's when
But
all
now-
the black guys died first.
But now, if the thing was going to try to get further out and get to go create more chaos, why wouldn't it just kill McCready right there on the spot and be done with it, and then take off and go do its thing?
Look, it plays
If-
off that classic. I mean, fearing what you don't know.
Yeah,
There's a good
Right,
chance neither one of them were infected, but they got after everything that happened, they're so paranoid. They're not going to ever trust each other.
Mhm.
no.
Wasn't there a husky that ran off at the end as well?
No, that's the remake.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Oh.
the third one they did.
Bullshit.
Starts into it.
That movie
Yeah.
just
Okay.
sucked.
And the Carpenters, everybody's dead except two characters who decide let's just fucking freeze to death.
Exactly.
All right. Well, now I want to bring up another one here to throw out to the panel, because it started in the 70s, and I'm thinking several of the ones that we're dealing with are going to start in the 70s. But let's talk about Friday the 13th. Let's go ahead and get the elephant in the room out of the way right off.
That's the 80s. No, that was the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Holy shit.
No, it was the 80s.
It did start in the 80s.
Because I saw the
Because-
original one in the theater, and I was still in high school.
I
That
think it
would
was
be-
78.
No, that would be 1981. Jeff's right.
Okay, 81.
We're
Hot
wrong.
damn.
Yeah.
Then at least I'm in the right range.
You're in the right era. Welcome.
Sean Cunningham
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Who's a god to me.
openly admitted that he stole from Halloween.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween came out in 79, I think, late 78, 79.
Okay.
So it had to be 80 at least.
Well, to me, what Sean did took what Halloween was and launched it into a whole brand new territory. I mean, he merchandised this thing. They didn't have the same director for any of the movies. They let a new person direct every single movie. And they were told on the front end, you get to kill Jason. You're the one that's going to kill Jason. And so they wrote their movie thinking that their kill scene at the end with Jason was going to be the one that ended the series. And it never was. And he knew that too when he was doing it. I mean, it's just such an interesting series when you look even at the behind the scenes of it, how it was created, and then what Sean decided to do with it afterwards, and how it's created such a cult following for certain people, in particular Kane Hodder. This guy doesn't come into the whole situation until Jason Lives. And he is now what everyone considers the Jason. There should never be another person to play this character. I mean, those movies are iconic, even though they did get silly at times. Okay, real quick. Everyone's thoughts on Jason Takes Manhattan.
That's one of the least ones I know.
It's amusing, but
Never heard of it.
Nope. Not
it's
nothing.
amusing, but I personally like Jason X. I know,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people
Really?
hate that movie.
That was the next one I was going to throw out there, because even I went, okay, other than the scene where he takes the chick and he dunks her and then pulls her up and then smashes her face because it's all frozen, outside of that, I don't know about that one.
They had fun with the humor. They revisited the
Yeah.
sleeping bag scene, only they kept laughing inside the sleeping bag. That shit was funny.
I may have not seen that one. I
Mhm.
think the last one I saw was Freddy versus Jason.
Okay, you wouldn't have any fun with it because it's basically Jason in space.
Yes, with a different kind
Oh.
of mask too. Even his mask is
There is-
different. He's
there
got
is-
like a steel mask thing
Yeah.
going on.
Okay, you tell
Oh,
her
for
something like
Christ's
that, and you just instantly get the disappointed mom face. Just like,
Uh,
what the fuck?
Now, side note, coming up in February, Jen and I will be going to the Days of the Dead
hopefully I have my book.
conference here in Vegas.
Hmm.
And Kane Hodder and Tom Savini will both be there.
That's
Nice.
freaking cool.
I'm going to have them sign my severed head.
Nice.
Or
What-
Jen's
what
going to
is it-
have him signed your severed head.
Why does that look suspiciously
Depends
like
on-
me?
Depends on how angry he makes me.
That's my point.
Okay, that thing looks an awful lot like me. I'm kind of getting concerned over here.
Yeah, you should put the beard on it, and it'd be like Jack.
It's all you're
And I-
missing.
Excellent idea.
Hmm.
I think we may have lost Ricky.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was struggling.
he's
He
in
was
internet
struggling.
hell. All right, I'll give you a movie.
Oh,
And since you already brought up the convention, Day of the Dead, George Romero, continuation from Night of, Dawn of.
Hmm.
What do you guys think of that one?
Day of the three, that's the weakest.
Really? That's
Yeah.
most fans say that's the most favorite. I
Day
even got
of.
a poster of it up behind me. Well, you can't see it.
we could fix that.
Yeah, I can fix that, but I don't know if I want to show you that shit because
No.
it's got zombie ass right next to it.
Look at him holding out on us
Got
over
zombie
here.
ass.
Here.
Not sure
Up at
if
the
I've
top.
seen that one.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just
Guess you can't
fine.
really see it.
There we go. I said, trust me, I still got a whole shit ton over here that I can't show all y'all, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I can't even say that I've even seen that one.
Okay.
Surprise.
Not surprised. Uh-huh.
And you know what? I should have gone with my second choice because I thought Day of the Dead was going to kill it. Scratch
You know
that.
what?
How about
Well,
John
now the thing is,
Carpenter?
I did
What?
actually enjoy Day of the Dead. It's been forever and a month ago since I ever actually watched it. But man, as a kid growing up, movies like that were just, they had to be rented because we had this place,
Yeah,
where you would go and you would pick up a movie and take it to a counter and pay someone to take it home. And then you would pop it in a machine that would suck the thing in and it would go brrr, and then you would watch said movie. And I distinctly remember enjoying Day of the Dead because me and my friends back then, that's all we did was watch horror movies.
yeah,
And-
me too. And I loved it in the theater. By the way, Ricky, you look like you're about to kill somebody on the dark web,
Yes.
but I'm glad you're back.
That's a Sunday thing.
God, I forgot you guys picked different days for murder.
That's true. That's true.
It's all about the scheduling. You've got to be organised, otherwise it all goes to pot.
All right.
No,
Well,
it's-
Ricky,
How else are you going to get away with it?
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, the
Well,
weirdest thing is when I was in Australia, I could not believe that on Sundays strip bars were still open. Because and back then, which by the way was the early '80s, early '80s, strip bars weren't open on Sundays here.
well, hell, they must not
Hoes
have
gotta
believed
make
in
bank.
Jesus.
What's that?
Hoes have got to make bank.
Damn right.
I'm
So
not
now-
saying I went to the strip bars. I'm just saying they were open.
So now that Ricky,
You had to go in and check just in case to see if they were contravening any regulations for 4 hours.
Well,
They were in there praying.
remember that the way Australia is set up, at least it was in 89, 90, in 89 and 90, the cities could have either legalized gambling or legalized prostitution. They couldn't have both.
No, that'd
what?
be crazy.
But a lot of, like, Sydney has legalized prostitution.
Now you're talking my language.
Oh, God.
Down with that. Well, Ricky, now that you have successfully rejoined the show,
Uh,
what
just
is
about.
one of your favorite 80s horror movies?
There weren't that many good ones in the 80s, were there? It's not as if it was a golden age of, solid horror movies, one after
right.
the other,
It was
Cut his
here.
feed, cut his
Day of
feed
every
right
hour.
now.
that puts
Holy.
modern movie making to shame because they should hang their heads in shame. Oh God, I don't know. I mean, you were talking about Day of the Dead, and I watched that on VHS as well back in the day.
Yeah.
I'd caught Night of the Living Dead. But this is my sort of zombie writing origin story. I watched Night of the Living Dead when I was meant to be asleep, or at least the last half of it, when the folks had gone to bed. And I turned on my little 14-inch colour TV, and there was this black and white movie playing. And I think it picked up at the point where they were going for the fuel, and all I saw was a truck explode with the people in the back, and then these other things eating the people that were blown up. And I watched the rest of it, you know, right to the end, and I didn't know what it was. And back in those days, we had the old TV guides. So the next morning, I jump up, go downstairs, and find out what it was, and it was Night of the Living Dead. I then proceeded to pester my mum until she got me Day of the Dead, or Dawn of the Dead, and then Day of the Dead, and I watched them back to back. Obviously, Dawn of the Dead is just iconic anyway, but then you've got the step up in gore for Day, and it you know, when Laurie Cardell, the leading lady from it, you know, the first scene where they're out in the world and they're sort of shouting hello, and then it's just got that music. And everything's, you know, it's just got the eerie wind blowing, and then the paper rustles and blows up against the bin, you know, the dead walk, and then you see that slowly shuffling shadow, and it's the guy with no jaw, and then the entire city comes alive. You know, that scene will always, you know, and then obviously when she gets back and she's having that dream in the chopper, and you've got the hands that erupt from the wall. That scared the shit out of me because I was sat about 3 foot from the screen, wrapped on this film, and these frigging hands just jumped out and grabbed her. And yeah, I ended up the other side of the room. But yeah, no, Day of the Dead, Dawn is obviously the 70s, but Day of the Dead in the 80s. But when you think of it, one that always is an absolute smash, and I watch it religiously about 3 or 4 times a year, is The Thing.
Oh, yep.
Here we go. Yep. We talked about that one right before you got back on.
Absolute masterful storytelling, because you have no clue what's going on. You have no clue who to trust. It doesn't spoon feed you. You know, filmmakers these days, you know, you'd have one of the characters get infected, and they'd have a conversation between 2 other characters saying, "Oh, you do know that guy's infected, don't you?" They spoon feed everything to you. There's no, you know, but as I say, you get to the end of that and there's still no resolution.
Yeah. Have you seen the so-called prequel?
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I enjoyed it for what it was.
It's damn near shot to shot from the original.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably why I enjoyed it.
Good point. Yeah, that's the point, actually.
Yeah, instead
it's
of
the same thing.
Let's got that lady in it. But no, as I say, there's just too many. I mean, what else have you got? You got Return of the Living Dead. You've got Evil Dead 2. You know, Hellraisers, Neon Maniacs. You've got so many.
80s was the golden age for horror.
It was.
And the practical effects.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, before they went on to CGI, you know, yeah, you could tell it was prosthetics and it was makeup, but by God, it looked real.
But I was going to say, man, the art that those people were able to put together to make those movies. Yeah, hell, Pumpkinhead, we left that one off. You know,
Stan Winston.
Put all this stuff together. It's so insane.
That's
Another
why
one
my favorites. Just the makeup.
Yeah.
I mean, because the CGI is great and all, and I get it and I dig it, and I guess it's cheaper and whatnot. But man, when you go back and look at some of those, they're grosser. Like there are actually scenes where you just kind of go,
Yeah.
But
you look at John Carpenter's The Thing, which was all practical,
and
then you look at the whatever the fuck you want to call it, which is all digital.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And the creature effects, there's no comparison.
Another one that I went out of my way and I bought for a sort of a late birthday present earlier in the year was the remake of The Blob.
Yeah, that actually turned out really good.
That one did turn out good. I love that one.
I hadn't seen it anywhere for it wasn't on Prime, it wasn't on any catch up. I hadn't seen it for donkey's years. And I'd got myself into a kind of romantic remembrance of how much I enjoyed that film and how much it fucked me up. So I eventually gave up and went on Amazon and ordered like the enhanced Blu-ray, which is basically just it's an okay copy. And I put it on, and there's one iffy bit with the green screen where they're kind of running away from the thing. but every other scene just makes you like, it just makes you retch. It's just vile. You know, you've got the chef where he's trying to unblock the drain, and obviously being a plumber, you know, he was
Oh yeah,
he was the death
Mhm.
that got to me the most. Bless him, just trying to do a
yeah.
trying to do
That's
a
the
bit
one
of
that got me the most because he's looking down at you, fingers in at some
and it
point. You know,
fucking-
like
it comes out,
Yeah,
it just
grabs him.
grabs him,
ugh.
squashes his head, and then just mulches him into the drain pipes. And then you've got like the start where the old guy's sort of got it stuck on his arm, and you've got that period where the girl's kind of like, just what is it? No, sorry, not the girl, the boy that has got the BMW or whatever it is, and he sees the movement on the bed sheet, and the old guy's kind of just there, and he goes in, peels it back, and the old guy's basically been consumed.
Yes.
And then it's, you know, he goes, you know, trying to phone the police. Oh, you know, help, help, help. And the door slowly closes behind him. And then he looks up and the blob gets him.
Yeah.
Then the girl goes in and, you know, he's sort of reaching out to her, trying to scream, but he's obviously completely encased in this ooze. And then he just melts away underneath the blob. That
Now isn't that
me
the
up.
shot? Isn't that the shot that so many people use when they put little screen pictures up for the blob? Is that guy with his face kind of
Yep.
extending into the thing,
Yeah.
and it's just like, oh my god, that's so
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah,
That, you know, that-
the effects were cooler, but I still gotta go with the original. I mean, Steve McQueen, come on!
I know.
How cool is that?
Yeah, I know.
He's already got Bullet. You can let somebody else have the horror.
Yeah, share the wealth.
Yeah, he was
Share
out
the
there
wealth.
taking over everything back then.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Jason, come on, man. What is your favorite '80s horror movie?
All right, like I said, not getting to grow up in the '80s like you lucky bastards.
Yeah, you got that right.
I'm a little bitter. All right, I admit it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You
I
fucking
love
young pup.
I was
12-year-old throwing a tantrum.
well, no, I was introduced to them by a family who was actually pretty cool about that kind of shit. The movie makeup stuff is what always got me. So The Thing, obviously, just goes without saying.
Mm-hmm.
But it was actually the first horror movie I watched was American Werewolf in London.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that
That
Very
chest
whole
good one.
transformation scene where they're just showing it frame by frame as he's just ripping through them. God damn.
scene.
Rick Baker effects.
Yep,
Mhm.
Absolutely phenomenal.
love
And
that.
yeah,
movie.
being a little kid, that was the stuff I was like learning into horror, like vampires, werewolves, that shit. Oh yeah, here, we'll let you watch this. I really think that may have been a parenting decision that shouldn't have been made, but whatever.
But
Wait, look.
there were lighter ways to introduce you to horror.
Well, look, man, this is a study into humanity, which is what we do here, believe it or not, in the Paddock Room. This was a guy that was a small child, and the first thing he sees in horror is a man dislodging his body. And yet he turned out fine.
Right on,
Ish.
Jim.
Yeah, God, you
Ish.
can't
Did
tell,
he though?
you know, the twitchy eye and the like crippling screams in the middle of the night where he wakes up in a cold sweat. It's-
Ignore the night terrors.
it's
And he
perfectly
resides in
normal,
a dungeon.
Everyday behavior. Absolutely
Yeah,
normal.
I turned out fine.
And you know
For the most part.
there are a lot of missing animals in his neighborhood. So
Oh, Jeff's
Actually,
research,
no,
and I
that's
can
not
do
true.
that.
on the
because-
last full moon.
Yeah, they don't have a stray cat problem, that's for sure.
Well, I mean,
All right.
you think what was that? That was early 80s, wasn't it? That
Mhm.
was. And can
81, I think.
Can you name? I mean, a werewolf transformation in any movie since that point that really kind of
That
just made you
epic.
think, oh,
No, there's never been a painful one since, but now the cooler one since has been the TV series that didn't really get a long run. They weren't apparently into it back then. Was Werewolf. It was just simply called Werewolf, and it was a little TV series they did. And this guy literally could just woof, and he was a werewolf. Like it would just woof, and he was ready to
That's your
fucking
underhanded
attack.
way of telling us you watched Twilight.
I know.
Not seen a single second of it.
Oh,
No,
boy.
sir.
Go
No,
ahead, you
sir.
can admit it. You're among friends, weirdo.
Yeah, I
No.
was gonna say I sat through one of them for the girlfriend. I mean, it's,
Look, I'm the same guy
I
that
don't
has
know the
also
runtime,
said,
but I'm not getting that back.
hey, I'm the same guy that has also said he's only seen the very beginning of Lord of the Rings and then went, yeah, no.
Oh,
And I'll throw on to the fucking funeral pyre of my future as cancel culture gets me. I watched the
It's
first
coming.
episode of Lord of the Rings and went, nope. And
Really?
The Rings
You
of
didn't
Power
like that?
series is
in your
absolutely
defense, that
fucking
first movie
abysmal.
starts out slow as shit.
so yeah, I kicked all those three iconic series right to the side like they were crap, and then I went back to listening to great books like Guardians of the Apocalypse and Adrian's Undead Diary, and I went back to like stuff that actually was cool.
Yeah, I respect that, Jack, but we are going to have to Clockwork Orange you and make you watch those films. I'm sorry.
Yes, we are.
You know.
Well, what did you guys think of Howling? Was
Oh,
that
The
yeah,
Howling
yeah,
was
loved
good.
it.
Howling
The
was
Howling was
great.
good.
I mean, Werewolf in
yes.
London kind of kicked his ass, but I thought I love Howling, all except the end.
And they kept making sequels after that one. You know,
Yeah,
it was
Yeah,
like they're
that's
like,
where
we're
it
gonna
goes
kill
downhill.
people with
73's
werewolves.
out
You know,
next week. It's like, dude, you just beating a dead horse now. Come on. Just call it a day.
Now, my favorite werewolf movie isn't really a werewolf movie.
Oh,
It's called Wolfen.
oh
Wolfen.
yes,
You ever see that
oh
one?
yes, oh
I don't
yes.
think I've seen that.
I know I've seen it.
WOLFEN.
It's a
Wolfen.
wolf pack in Manhattan.
Yep.
oh shit.
They're actually in Queens.
See, I did have one honorable mention on my list, and it goes back to John Carpenter. Because let's face it, if you liked horror movies, you've watched at least one and enjoyed it.
Yep.
I'm trying to make sure I got the name right. I
Man,
think
are
it
you
was
about to steal my
Fog.
thumb? Which one?
With The Fog with I think Jamie Lee Curtis is
Oh
really
yeah,
in it.
The Fog.
Somebody else.
I can watch the hell out of that one.
Very good.
Yeah, I can't remember who all was in it, but I remember the movie because it kind of messed me up as a kid, and I didn't go outside for a while at night. But I
And-
lived in
and-
a coastal town in California, and
Yep.
fuck no.
And of course, the remake sucked.
It
Yeah.
usually does.
Oh God,
Yeah,
I
really
I don't even acknowledge there was a remake that was that bad.
No,
It was a
horrible.
freaking love story
It's fucking horrible.
without the sex.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
Right. If we're going to talk John Carpenter, what do you guys
Hey.
think of Prince of Darkness? That's one of my
Awesome.
favorites.
Okay.
Awesome. Now, how about this? It isn't. An argument could be made that this isn't a horror movie, but I say fuck that. Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes.
I
Love
lump it
it.
in with horror because of the makeup effects. I love that
Yeah.
movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
so do
it's
I.
still. I'd say it's on the edge, if not dipping one
Right.
full foot into
Well,
the
it had
genre.
monsters and stuff
If
like
we're not
that.
back by dawn, call the president.
Yes. Yes. Love that movie.
But yeah, I mean,
So,
I try and think of like the 90s and the thousands, and any films that just when I'm faffing around doing something, and a scene will pop in my head. None of it's from anything recent. It's all from that era, like the Evil Deads, and just
Yes.
yeah,
what
exactly.
did we lose? How did we go from being able to do that to the absolute dross that they release these days?
Like with any industry, it got to the lazy part where people realize, oh, there's a formula, and they tweak it to think they're going to make it any different, but they just shit
I
on it.
suppose it's got to be, isn't it? But
Well, now let's be fair to the whole situation. The 80s horror does not exist if it isn't for the, 30s, 40s, 50s, going forward, creating the foundation
yeah,
that
true.
these guys wrote their stuff on. Because, back in the old black and white days, they didn't really delve into blood and guts and gore and eyes popping out of heads and, just all that insanity.
Well, I was going to say,
But
how long did they stick to the Hays Code? Because that would have fucked up a lot of horror movies.
Yeah. Well, even the original Halloween, people think it's really bloody, but it isn't.
mm-mm.
There's
No.
hardly any blood in that movie.
Hmm.
Then Sean Cunningham comes along, but there's also in between that movie Scanners,
Scanners, love it,
Yeah,
Scanners,
brilliant.
love it.
where the guy's head explodes.
Yeah.
That hadn't happened on film before, and people
No.
loved it. So Friday the 13th comes along, and it's like,
Me like it, me like
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Blah.
I don't know why that came to mind, but since we're on 80s horror movies and you mentioned a head exploding, okay. There was this thing on TBS years ago. It was drive-in movies with the guy who would host it and give a little commentary on shit. What?
Yeah.
Joe Bob Briggs.
There, thank you. Thank
Yep,
you.
there we go.
I still
And they-
watch them.
And they brought up Maximum Overdrive.
I love that
Oh, my
movie.
God.
Oh my
Okay,
god, I
no,
was
no,
gonna
no,
bring
no.
that one
What's
up.
funny
I was
is they
bringing that
wanted
one
to
up.
make it just run blood on the steamroller when the whole shit goes down in the field or the park.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they put a blood bag on a dummy and didn't realize when it came back around, it just looked like the kid's head exploded. It was just like, and they're like, all right, fuck it. We don't have enough film to redo this. So
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, as a writer, as a director, Stephen King makes a good writer.
Mm.
Yeah, it takes a really good director to figure out his films because a lot of them sucked. Carrie,
not great.
that one was badass. That was scared. That was scary to me.
look, the original
Christine was good.
Curry.
You know,
Christine was good.
Jesus,
That
man,
was
you and my
another-
buddy Kevin.
Christine was good. That was another John Carpenter. Another John Carpenter.
Sorry, I just never bought into the possessed car running people over.
That
You've never met my truck. My
what?
1998 Ford Ranger.
What was its
Well-
name?
I literally just wrote.
It's okay, Jen.
Did you?
Your turn.
Go ahead.
I was looking to see if I actually saw any of these movies.
Just tell us a poster.
Well, I've seen a few. The one that I like Alien. I don't know if it's considered scary or not.
I think Aliens was 80s,
Didn't
wasn't
we
it?
just talk about this on the last show?
Yeah,
Like,
we did.
She's catching up. Come on, Jason.
Yeah, isn't
We're,
Alien
we're
like-
trying. We are.
Yeah,
you
I
guys
know.
can be sympathetic to her. If I start doing it, she's gonna ask me what's wrong.
The
Guys,
Shining.
look at it like this. We're the village. She's the idiot. We're
Oh.
trying to figure it out.
Ooh,
Oh.
you are
That
brave.
hurts.
Shots
That
fired.
hurt.
Yeah, that was.
I might be driving
Jeez.
down there to Tennessee now. this
R.I.P.
weekend.
Jack.
Nice knowing you,
shit.
Jack.
Okay, all right, hang on, guys. I gotta.
Run!
The Shining
the
is
fuck
one
out of
that I really
Dodge.
like.
Oh, good
I thought it
choice.
was. I actually watched it start to finish a few times because when it first came out, I wasn't really old enough to understand what was going on, and then the more that people started delving into the psychological part of it, I had to watch it to be like, were those things really missing when, one screen they're missing and then the next screen they're there? There was a scene where Olive Oil, or whatever her damn name is. That's what she looks like to me.
Yes,
is,
she saw Popeye too.
She was in Popeye.
Yeah.
So she comes and starts talking to Jack as he's sitting there
Oh.
typing, and there's like one scene, there's a table in the background, and then the next scene, like it goes back to her, and then it goes back to him, and there's not a table.
Mhm.
So like supposedly there's kind of like a she's going into her psychotic episode where she's freaking out. It's like her psychosis and not his. So I had to like watch the whole movie again, and I
I
really
never noticed that. I mean, I thought it was a
Yeah.
continuity issue.
no. There's all sorts of there's all sorts of schools of thought out there where actually the movie was actually showcasing not that Jack was the psycho, but Mom, Olive Oil, was the psycho.
All right, so
Yeah.
why do I feel like we're talking about me right now?
Because we are.
Because I said Psycho.
Of all
No,
the
because we're
animals-
talking olive oil with a beard.
Oh,
And Jack.
I said Jack. I meant Jack Nicholson. I can't remember their names, but and then you got the kid seeing all these extra things. That's why it's called The Shining or whatever. And it was like there was like 6 different stories in one movie.
Look, the only fucked up bit of trivia, and it scares the hell out of me about this movie, and the other movie geeks in here probably already know, but the fact that was Kubrick, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
Kubrick
Literally
doesn't make
gave
continuity.
what's her name, Shelley Long, something like that.
Shelley
Shelley Duvall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Duvall.
Gave that woman PTSD. Like scared the shit out of her the whole time they were filming, kept her on high. So all that shit was real. Those facial expressions weren't exactly forced. She was actually at her wit's end the
Well,
entire
she-
filming.
They
I
traumatized
believe
her
it.
ass.
That
Yeah.
I mean, I feel
Kubrick-
bad for her, but it made for a real good movie.
Oh. And it's
Yeah.
not great, but the sequel's actually kind of enjoyable if you go into it not taking it too seriously.
Are you talking about Doctor Sleep?
Yes.
Yeah, I liked it.
I really like Doctor Sleep.
Okay,
Yeah, I
well, I
liked
know some hardcore fans who were critical
And-
about it, and I made
But-
them.
Wait. So you're telling me that Jennifer Amato actually watched an entire movie that had the word sleep in
2.
it?
I watched an entire 2 movies.
Okay,
Holy shit!
this is where I'll defend her. When it's more seems to be like psychological or paranormal based, you can almost always get her on board.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
I'm
If it's
watching.
just shock value,
I'm watching.
fuck it, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I raised now he's about to be 22. I raised a son who is a monster. And he would try to scare the crap out of me every chance he get. Jump scares, it's very rare when that happens, if you get me. So those don't freak me out.
Oh, I'm
It's
weak
more
as hell
like-
to jump scares. I will hit the
no,
ceiling
no.
like Sylvester the Cat in a Looney Tunes cartoon.
If they're
No.
good, they'll get me. But in general, I
You
can see
gotta
them
be-
coming.
Yeah, you gotta be
Okay.
real good.
Safety
But,
note on that: if you are gonna jump scare her, fucking duck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I throw punches. But The Shining was one of my favorites, and another one that I still to this day I absolutely love, the Twilight Zone movie.
Oh yeah, that was great.
I love
That one's really good. Looking out the window on the
Yep.
wing of the plane
Watching the
Yes!
gremlin.
with
exactly.
William Shatner literally freaking out.
That
Oh,
was a
You mean
chapter.
My God.
That was the
John
original.
Lithgow?
Yeah.
yeah, John
Lithgow.
Lithgow is
John
the one you're
Lithgow
thinking
is
about.
the
Yeah.
the movie, but yes,
Yeah, I was
William
thinking about
Shatner
the
was
original. Yeah, he was the original. But yes, it's still that same freak out. You're
Yeah.
losing your mind. You're seeing it. You know it's there. Nobody else believes you, and all of a sudden, bad shit happens. It's
Yep.
Yep.
great freaking story in that one.
Yeah.
I liked the wraparound. What was it? Dan Aykroyd's all like, "Hey, want to see something
Hey,
scary?"
what's up, scary?
Wanna
And
see
he,
something really
I
scary?
loved it.
I never,
was so
I
good.
always loved that song, The Midnight Special. I kept thinking about the movie
Yeah.
whenever I hear that song, that's what I hear, what I think about. And then that one guy, in the bar who was he was a bigot and big anti-Semite. And then he goes
who was that?
outside and he's stuck in the 40s
Vic
and gets
Morrow.
put on he gets put on the Holocaust train. I was like,
Mhm.
yes.
That was Vic Morrow,
Yeah, that
who died making that movie.
Did he?
Yep.
Yeah, the helicopter crashed.
him and a couple of kids, right?
yeah,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
the
did see
helicopter
that.
crashed. It killed him and a couple of kids.
Yeah,
Got John Landis on the blacklist for a little while.
yeah. I remember seeing something about that. But yeah, I loved the Twilight Zone, the movie. That and The Shining are probably my favorites that I can watch over and over and over and over again.
Can we get a bit of love for The Fly?
I
The
thought that
Fly,
was stupid.
absolutely.
Oh,
Jeff Goldblum.
yeah,
I like Jeff, but I thought that was stupid.
take
did.
that back.
I can't. I'm sorry, Ricky. I love you to death, but I can't.
The Fly, you really didn't like it?
I really didn't like it.
I
Oh,
thought it
with
was
the
pretty
Jeff
clever.
Goldblum one? Are we talking about the Jeff Goldblum one?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum was in it. One of my favorite directors. Trying to think of his name, it's escaping me now. He's from
Cronenberg?
Canada.
Cronenberg?
Cronenberg. Thank you.
Sorry.
That was a Cronenberg movie.
He's done
That's
some
And
good
what-
ones.
that's
Rabbit,
what-
He's big into
stuff like that
body
as well.
horror.
That's
But-
one twisted son of a bitch.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell
he
you.
is.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. First off, I'm a Jeff Goldblum bitch. I love that fucking guy. If he's in something, I'm watching it because
yeah.
I want to see what Jeff Goldblum's gonna do. So, Jen, I may have to be flying my 120-pound frame up there to find out just how quick you can decimate
We'll
my
meet-
ass as I
we'll
try to
meet in
whip
the
your
middle.
ass.
No,
We'll
you
meet
can
in the
only
middle.
fly out there if you can prove to everyone here you don't have a poster of him behind you from Jurassic Park. Because if you're
I
that
don't.
much of a fan, we got questions.
I don't. I don't.
But I mean,
Not
No,
back there.
Jason, it's in the
No, it's clear.
bathroom where he stands at the toilet, so he can.
He's
Oh,
busy.
Jeff, little.
the man
Busy.
does look good in a partly buttoned shirt. Let's
Did
be
you
honest.
really have to give us that visual, Dan?
I did.
Really?
It's part of my contract. Oh,
Oh,
double
oh.
eagle. We got 2. We got anybody else?
I blocked
4.
that from my
6.
subconscious.
Ricky, you want to pipe in on those eagles?
No, I blocked that entirely from my subconscious. I didn't
Fuck.
get anything there.
Wise, very wise.
Yeah, I
Um,
kind of just went away for a little while for my own mental safety there.
Well, hey guys, just for a quick checkup, we have 7 wheels left on the train.
We're doing
Dude,
well.
we're still on topic, almost an hour in.
Yeah,
We're doing
We're
well.
hanging in
There's
there.
no leakage
Topic.
whatsoever. But going back to the fly, and it will lead into any other suggestions you guys have got. The thing that really freaks me out about that type of film is the slow decay of his body.
Yeah.
You know, the
Okay.
that really, really fucks me up. You know, just because obviously I wash like at least once a fortnight, so I'm a fairly clean guy. So, you know, having that, you know, like picking his fingernails off and stuff, and just knowing, you know, it's like
Pulling
you're
his
rotting.
teeth out.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like you're rotting from the inside out, and there's
Yeah.
absolutely nothing you can do about it. You know, that type of body horror really got to me, and it's
Yeah,
still
it was
does get to
gruesome.
me.
When he spit that stuff out to dissolve the food before he ate it, I
Yeah.
about puked. I'm like, oh, damn.
Well, while we're talking about spitting stuff out, I just want to give a shout out to my wifey Katie at work. Katie Mock, I love you. So
God
since
damn.
we're talking about spitting.
Oh,
I
you want
I
to
need
let us
more
in on this joke?
explanation. Yeah, I need more explanation on this, Keith. What?
No, we really
What,
don't.
what were the
You don't
alternatives?
want
No,
explanation.
Are you
Jeff,
sure? Because right now I'm picturing a bunch of women around the water
What?
cooler going, "Hey, you spit or swallow."
Yeah,
Actually,
that's
Yeah.
kind of what I was getting.
no.
No, for
Always-
once in a lifetime, I'm actually on board with Dan on this.
See what we've devolved to? I'm this voice of reason.
That's shocking.
For
No,
real.
she asked me for a shout out, and I said I would do a shout out. So I had to embarrass the shit out of her, and I just did. Since we were talking about
Good job.
spitting.
So let's give another shout out to Tim Brooks.
Right, our comment.
The
ninja.
comment ninja.
Yeah.
Near
Yeah.
Dark
Near
with Bill
Dark.
Paxton and
Rest in peace, Bill. Love you.
Oh,
and
that
Lance
has 3
Henriksen.
people from Aliens.
Yeah,
Lance
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 Henriksen,
Henriksen.
Bishop.
Game over, man. Game over.
Uh,
Oh, you did the Aliens line. Nice.
Oh yeah. That was nice.
That's another movie I've watched like way too many times.
No, you can't
It's
watch
funny
that
that
movie
those-
way too many
Lance
times.
Henriksen.
In the
It's
factors, though, wouldn't it?
we're in
They
some
were in
really
so many
pretty
of the
shit
films.
here, man.
right. Well,
He
I'm
was
gonna throw-
always whining. He was, hey man, we're in some shit, man. He's so whiny in that movie. You love
He
him.
was.
You love him.
And then
Yes,
he'd get all tough, but he's all like, what was my favorite? Fuck, I can't even think of it now. I just had it.
I just had an evil idea. Jen,
Oh,
do
what?
you have any plans on writing a character like that into your series?
A whiny bitch.
Yes.
I think
I
you
have
have
one
one.
of those.
Way ahead of you.
It's not. Yeah. It's not Jason either.
So
Oh.
That's the part that surprises me because he would be the whiniest bitch I would expect
Actually,
in the whole
he's
damn
about.
series.
He's the
Ah.
hero. He's the hero in my series. Believe it or not.
Ah, that is so fake news.
He's the
I-
hero
Ah.
in my series.
I have a
Fake news.
whiny bitch in Epic Mayhem, and his name is Jack.
He's a ghost.
I am the greatest epic bitch of all time. Thank you.
Dude,
Look at
Heather's
it.
got more
Why
balls
is
than
it-
you do.
Why is
Oh,
it just
man.
like this? Why is it this?
Well,
like
yeah,
this?
'cause they're in
Goddamn,
her
you're
mouth,
Gen Z as
ass.
fuck.
Oh, Ricky, by the way, I've started on you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
Yep, your
Be
turn.
Uh-oh.
I made you an MI6 agent.
Oh, yeah, you're going down hard.
What old bean?
Oh boy.
Gotta remember, because you gotta remember it's 1947 or 48. You know,
Indubitably.
it's back then. It's in the old days. They didn't have computers.
And the first line out of your mouth is Horatio fucking Nightingale, you bloody Yank bastard.
Bit of casual racism in there. I like it.
A little bit. It's 47, man. It's okay.
That's
We
yes,
could do that back then.
It was a better time, let's be honest, wasn't it? You know, widespread racism.
Oh yeah, running rampant.
Yeah,
Just everywhere. People with Tommy guns running around, just blasting people.
Yeah.
Just, it's all good.
I want to say the old Peaky Blinders, but I think that was around the same time period, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
Razor blades on the old flat caps.
World War II. Did it?
Yeah, have
Yeah.
a bit of razor blade
Post-World
across
War
the
One.
eyeball.
Was it World War One?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, was it one? Oh,
Yeah.
why? I'm 20 years off then.
I did pull something. I did pull something from London history, though. It was the Blackout Ripper. There was a guy. There was a guy during the Blitz, who made use of the blackout conditions to slash up a bunch of women.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Yeah, there was an
I had
actual
no
guy that did
idea.
this. Yeah, they finally arrested him in 1942 or 3. He killed like 6 or 8 women.
Bloody hell.
That's a damn shame that a Yank knows more about your history than you do.
I'm terrible. I am a failure as an Englishman.
But dude, trust me, I don't know half of American
I need
history.
to hand my Englishman badge back. I don't deserve it anymore.
Yeah, well, that's okay. We're always taking people to join us here in the American area. I wouldn't recommend it, by the way.
Well, yeah, maybe I think I'll wait for a bit of the volatility to die down before I move over.
You may be
Yeah,
waiting a while.
Then again,
Yeah.
Look, if
wouldn't
shit starts to
mind,
pop off, it's gonna be a party. I promise you.
I wouldn't mind.
Honestly, I think we're reaching the end. This is pretty much it. We're just gonna self implode and we're gonna suck the rest of y'all down with us.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
Ricky, how do you hope your
Myself
character
an option,
dies?
I must admit, just a few acres in the middle of nowhere. Do a
Ooh.
sort of David Simpson. Get myself somewhere, absolutely middle of nowhere. And just threaten strangers with guns that come anywhere near.
Look, we'll get along fine.
Hey, I like Dan's question he just asked. Fire it again, Dan.
What's that?
Fire your question again.
Oh, Ricky, how do you hope your character gets killed in book 3 of Epic Mayhem?
I'm British. We don't die. We're
Yes,
unkillable.
you do.
I got bad news for you, man.
What?
Your
Yes.
corpse is going to get tossed like
Yeah,
a
you
bale of
do.
tea.
Yeah.
Jeff, you promised me that I would sail off into the sunset with the leading lady. What's
That would be Jen, and I could very
I'm happy
easily
with
have
that.
Jen shoot a lightning bolt up your ass.
I'll shoot a light.
send
A
you
lot of
sailing
things.
off
Once
into
again,
the-
I'm happy with that. You're
How do
not.
you feel about pegging? No.
You're not putting me off here. I've got to be honest with you. You're not putting me
He's
off.
like, I'm into this. Let's do this.
Yeah,
See, this is
I'm
why I
all the
love me
way.
some Ricky Fleet. This is why I love me some Ricky Fleet.
yeah,
nah, fuck, I'm
sign
serious.
me up. Sign me up, baby.
Jen might find the
oh
love,
God,
huh?
it's dying. It's just a catastrophic tea accident would be a fitting end.
Would this,
Oh,
would
and
this
hey-
be
the
with or
river?
without? Would this be with or without a ball gag?
It's got to be with.
It's got obviously, it has to be
Obviously,
with.
got to be with a ball gag.
Jennifer, do you have any room in a later book to maybe ball gag and kill Ricky Fleet?
I have actually been considering doing under a pseudonym an erotica series.
Ooh.
Just as long as whatever
Ooh.
instrument you kill him with is called spotted dick.
Ooh.
Yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
writing this down. Ricky Fleet, ball gag, spotted dick.
Perfect.
All right, back to 80s movies. I'm going to tell you one of the ones that I just still to this day love, and I can watch them over and over again. Because I've got to get away from this because y'all are freaking me out right now.
Yeah, we're losing wheels. They're going.
Honestly,
We all kept being weird. That was
the
never-
train went off the damn rails. I got to get back on the rails. Fucking
Lightweight.
hang on a minute, shit. Hat. Okay, now
He
critters.
just vogues it.
Fucking critters.
Love
The
critters.
little hair
Critters?
balls. Oh my god, was that not one of the most fun things you ever watched in your entire life? Is to see them deal with these little balls of man munching madness.
It was their conversations that they were having with each other. What was the one they did in the house? But I was pissing myself. Oh, what did they say to each other?
I can't remember either. Shit, it's been a minute since I watched one. But god damn it, I love those movies. The Critters movies are awesome.
Yeah, and the aliens came and they took on the form of the rock star, wasn't it? And the what was the weird guy?
Yeah, man, he was the town drunk. I got an echo.
Yeah,
Damn.
I've got to Google their conversation.
That wasn't me.
I've got to
Somebody's
Google their
echoing.
Conversation.
Is it? Damn it.
Okay. Yep, see, it was you, but now it's not echoing. So, but no, man, the rock star looking guy and his nerdy friend that hung out with him, but then when they got the town drunk to join in with them, and he turns out to actually be a hero and shit. Oh, that was so good.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just trying to
that's
look up
actually
the-
true logic because the town drunk's not going to think a damn thing through. It's like, wait, yeah, that'll work. Fuck it.
Yep, run it.
Hold my beer.
That is the definition of I would rather be lucky than good.
All right, let's ask the big guy the question, because I mean, after all, this is a damn show. What are your thoughts on Critters?
Loved it. Loved it. Much better than what was that? Gremlins.
I like Gremlins.
Gremlins?
I like
Gremlins
I like
was
Gremlins
okay,
too.
but
I wouldn't consider Gremlins
Critters-
horror.
Critters was
Oh,
much
it
better.
is.
Critters
To me-
was much better.
I must be that messed up in the head because I've always considered Gremlins to be a kids movie.
It was a comedy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd still class it as like horror comedy.
How many horror movies where the, I don't know, monster, villain, whatever the hell you want to call it, at any point in time are doing like almost random SNL bits as the fucking shit went on? And the whole thing with the old lady getting launched out with her stair chair, I don't care what you say. I was like 6 when I caught that or whatever the hell it was, and I have never laughed so hard in my life. She got rocketed clean down the street, and anyone under the age of probably
that
like
was such
10
a good
saw it
bit.
coming.
Dude, for me, the blender scene where they blended the freaking gremlin,
Oh,
that
yes.
that just, I was like, yeah.
Didn't they put one in the microwave as well?
They did, and he blew
Yep.
up. Oh, it was good. It
I
was
think
so
they
good.
pretty much figured every possibility and then filmed it.
Yep.
Now here's one. It came out in 1990 but it was made in '89.
Hmm.
Tremors.
Oh my God!
Tremors.
Oh no!
Love it.
You
Love
you
'em.
just
Yes.
you just freaking took. I am a member of the Burt Gummer fan club on Facebook. Okay, I'm like I am that deep when it comes to Tremors. Oh, don't even get me. That
Yes.
freaking
Yes.
movie series is one of the best things ever because they hit all the tropes. They hit them all,
Mhm.
but they do it subtly. And they just kind of build you up, and they feel like you're in a buddy movie at one point, but then suddenly you're in a horror movie at one point, but now you're in a suspense movie at one point, and now you're just in graphic, unnecessary violence for one point. Tremors is one of my favorite series of all time. Period.
I love it. Love them graboids.
Yep.
And that's the thing with him. That's one of my favorites. Is he gets drugged down and his eyes are so wide, and he's just getting pulled down off the freaking freezer cooler thing that never should have been plugged up. Bang. Oh,
And the fact that Burt Gummer becomes the through character for the entire series.
Yeah.
well, because they couldn't afford Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward. They couldn't afford them. It was like they wanted to keep the thing going with them, but they couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
see
hell,
the-
Kevin Bacon for freaking sake.
Yeah.
he'll give
I
you
heard-
one.
There is some rumor that Kevin Bacon might come back into the next one.
He was
Ooh.
actually interviewed
I
a
know.
while back, and he actually felt terrible that he never went back and revisited the whole thing.
And well, yeah, because they're that damn good. I mean, you got
Tim
just
Brooks right there.
okay. When it comes to an author that I think amongst the indie authors that I have got the chance to interview, this one feels like a Max Hawthorne. One of those primordial, old, ancient things that suddenly pops up in our real world because we've expanded that far. And for me, Tremors is that story, like where we've gotten to a place where we're out there, we've got this little small town of just a few houses, and we've decided we're going to live here. But there's this thing that already lives out there, and it's like, ooh, free food. And so it starts attacking, and it's brilliantly done. For as simple of a story as it really is,
Yeah.
it's actually really brilliantly done. And I mean, I got myself a plan is one of my favorite lines of all time. When he starts running and he's got the crew behind him because they're like, well, fuck, we got to run too. And so they're running behind him and they get to the edge and he stops. And it's just, man, it's so good. I love me some Tremors and I love all the sequels. I've seen every one of them. I've seen
And
every
the
one of them.
second one, the most classic line from the second one
Yes.
is when Burt Gummer comes back in that deuce and a half, and it's covered in gore,
Yeah.
and he said, "I ran completely out of ammunition. That's never happened to me before."
Like I said, great movie. If you people out there have never seen Tremors, go watch it. Don't suspend disbelief, all that happy horse shit. Just go watch it. You're going to have a great time. They are some of the funnest movies you will ever watch. Even the one where they're in Antarctica and the thing is
that's great.
under the ice and it busts through and it just takes out the little. I call it the prologue. We kill the prologue people just right off the rip, and then the actual movie starts. Because man, that is some good stuff.
Did you like
never
Shrieker
know,
Island, the
though,
last
do
one?
you? There have been
I liked
whole
them all.
villages go missing.
Yeah.
Who's to
True.
say that they weren't tremored?
Ah,
There's never been a explanation, for where all these people suddenly went, with meals still prepared and on the table, and they're gone.
slurped up.
It's that kind of all those little niggling things, like the ground isn't safe, all those things just about that era. You know,
Yes.
just every kind of scare. You know, you could just be walking along and then I was D9. You know, they just haven't been able to come up with anything like it since.
No. I mean, even what the 80s is most known for in horror, the slasher movies,
Yes.
were even the worst of them was awesome.
No, they were. I mean, that's actually the honest truth. Because to me, I bring up Pumpkinhead from time to time, and I did, I guess, kind of enjoy it when I watched it. But when I think back on it, I go, "Yeah, I'm not watching that again." Like I have no desire to see it again. Like, okay, I saw it one time. It's done.
Nowadays, they want to make the movie to either make money or it's just strictly shock value. In the 80s, it's like, if you were halfway through filming and you knew it was probably going to be bad, it's like you just made it so bad, it had to be good.
Yes.
Right.
Like, you're going to get a reaction out of somebody either way, but don't let them go home from the theater sorry.
Hey, what about Night of the Demons?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
Oh,
movie
yeah.
is iconic. That
Mhm.
thing right there freaked me the hell out. When Chick takes the damn lipstick tube and turns it, and I'm going to get graphic for you bitches. Shoves it right into her freaking nipple and shoves it home.
All right. Nobody bring up horror movies with dicks. I do not want to see him act that out.
no,
Shit, all right, I need Google.
yeah, this isn't charades. No,
But that was one of the creepiest scenes I'd seen in a long time back then when I was a kid. Like, what the hell? And actually, here was the weird part about it. My dumbass actually started thinking, well, where did it go? It's like I was concerned about that. Like, well, where did it go? Did it go in her boobie? Was it like that was some freaky shit? So demons. That damn movie fucked me up.
Or Chopping Mall.
Chopping
Yeah.
Mall. Yep.
Chopping Mall.
I haven't seen that one. I might have to get that one on the list.
I got to
That
go.
was
Night of the
hilarious.
Creeps. That's
Yeah.
another one. I
That
watch
was
all
a
the
good
time.
one with the little slug things.
The little slugs.
That
Creepy.
that was weird.
Wow.
That was grotesque.
But all those slasher movies, Terror Train, New
Jamie
Year's
Lee?
Evil, Prom Night,
Okay, I know one of those three you just named.
Sleepaway Camp.
Know that
Sleepaway
one.
Camp.
Know that one. Know that one.
Yeah, of course.
Of
But
course
God, I
it
mean,
was.
but the point that's being made here is there's so many of them.
yeah.
It was like Dan said, it was the golden age of these type of horror movies.
Well, think back
Because
to
you-
it too. There's a lot of things people did in the 80s that they didn't do before and definitely don't do now. Like, you could
Mhm.
do like grotesque. I mean, that's when we had some of the better action movies back then. Like, they just get away with the stupidest shit they could come up with because nobody done
Right.
it before.
Now people count bullets, going, "Oh, this is bullshit."
Yep,
Right.
yep. Hollywood clip. It's called a Hollywood clip. That thing
And-
never goes dry.
And the thing is, they knew what they had,
hmm
and they had fun with it.
Yeah.
Right. Look, how many decades could someone like prime example was Bruce Willis have gone from comedies and dramas to becoming an action hero?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, moonlighting. talking
Moonlighting
about
and shit like that
moonlighting.
is what he did.
Yep.
Everybody thought it was a joke when he got cast in Die Hard, then everybody loved it.
That he is
And he was
actually my
typecast for the
favorite.
rest of his time.
He is actually my favorite action movie character, John McClane, of all time. Like
John
not
McClane.
not Rambo, not anything Schwarzenegger's ever done, not anything Van Damme, Vin Diesel, whoever. It's John McClane for
It's
me
because
all
it's
day.
believable, though, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a regular guy.
Pathers.
That first one was at least remotely plausible.
Yeah.
The
'Cause he
rest
had the
of them,
talents.
no.
No, I'm sorry. The second one is also plausible. The airplane
I'd
thing,
still give the
that's
second one.
plausible.
You know,
And yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
absolutely.
Yes, it is.
Right on, Tim. Absolutely.
I'm still
Jason.
gonna buy that advent calendar where you move it down a day with Hans Gruber
I've
down the
seen that
building
on
as you
my
get closer to
Facebook
Christmas.
wall.
Yeah.
I will have you know, we
Hans
named one of
Gruber.
our German shepherds after that man, Hans Gruber Dolph Lundgren, actually.
Ah.
So our
Brilliant.
German shepherd is his Hansi Bear, but he's Hans Gruber Dolph Lundgren.
Yep.
Well, just
It's-
don't drop
And we
him
even
off
got
your
one of those
roof.
little.
Yeah, don't take
Oh
it
no,
off the
he's
high
too
rise.
sweet. We even got a little Funko Pop bobblehead of Hans Gruber.
What?
That's awesome.
We found one. Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's awesome.
Hey,
Fun
it's
random
not,
thing.
it's not Christmas until Hans Gruber falls off the
Falls
October
off.
planet.
Damn right.
Absolutely.
And hey, I'll be watching it again this year, like I do
So
every
what?
single
Yeah.
year.
And
See,
for all of
Yippee-ki-yay,
you
Mother
who
Hubbard.
think it's not a Christmas movie, you can go suck a bag of dicks.
Dude, they literally use Christmas music for the movie.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho.
Yeah.
It's subtle.
Yeah.
The Christmas, themes in it, very subtle.
But it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
what?
I think what it is that the people that don't think it's a Christmas movie or the softies that don't think like we do, like you can have violence in Christmas. It doesn't have to all be Santa Claus and reindeers
Well,
and
no, because
cuddly love.
there is such a thing as the Krampus.
Yes,
Yeah.
things
And
happen.
that movie was a pretty decent
All
Christmas
right.
movie.
Look, if
Yeah.
anybody wants to argue it, this is the Christmas T-shirt I allowed people to get me. Hold on.
Love it.
Yes.
Yes.
Love it.
Hell
Excellent.
yeah.
Yes.
It's a Christmas movie. Fight me.
But
Well, look at Scrooged.
oh, I love that.
I love that movie. I love that
Right.
movie. That's a great movie.
You know, that's one of the ones
But
I
it's
angel-
Bill Murray. Bill Murray could literally do a movie based on him working 9 to 5 at a Walmart, and we would all be like, "That's a great movie."
Yeah.
Carol
Except-
Kane
Wait a minute, hold
was
on.
my
Now that you
favorite
said
in that movie.
Why did I immediately jump to Greeter?
Even Bobcat Goldthwait's really good in that as well, isn't he? I
Yes,
love
he
his
is.
character in it.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'm a closet Bobcat fan. Don't get me wrong, man. I love me some Bobcat.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
You know, if you take his character from Police Academy, that might be the only fictional person that could explain the last, 6 years. And I listened to it.
That's why I learned to love him.
Britain put out some good 80s horror too. Ricky,
did.
did you ever see Split Second?
Yeah.
That came from over there.
Okay.
Rutger Hauer, the
Yeah.
monster. He loved it.
Yeah. He telepathically linked because he gets clawed, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
He's all like, how is he always
Really?
there?
dark and bleak fucking movie that was, wasn't it?
That was.
Dank
That,
and
I think that's
like
another one with no
proper
happy ending.
Blade Runner type, dystopian, bleak fucking misery. Yeah, no,
I think I love that one, but also Life Force. I just
Yeah.
cannot get enough of Life Force.
I
Except
can't remember that one. What was the gist?
that one, they're just too much for me. The premise of the thing was just ridiculous. And in the end, when they're looking for, the source of what's going on,
Right?
they supposedly can't find it. When there's this big ass beam shooting up into the middle of the sky, and they
Come
can't
on.
find the thing. Come on.
Matilda May running around naked through the whole damn movie. Does that strike a memory with you, Ricky?
No,
There's that.
I'm gonna have to go and find it now.
That-
Though I
it's-
must admit,
Think space vampires. That's what it is. It's space vampires.
you had me at naked lady running around the entire film.
There you go.
Oh, yeah,
Lots
I
of
was gonna say,
boobies.
That's the name of the book.
To bring it back to Cronenberg, Cronenberg did a movie with Marilyn Chambers,
Ah, yes,
The
it's one of my
porn star.
favorites.
Rabbit.
Rabid.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
It's a twisted movie.
Shh. I'm trying to remember the one he did before that because it was even more twisted. What was it called? It was one that it was going in that apartment complex, the big tall building. What the hell was that movie called?
Somebody got a text message. Ha ha.
That was me. I had to
You
change it.
ass.
My customers used to get mad because it used to be Siri saying you have another fucking text message. Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember the name of that movie, but it was even more disgusting. A lot more of the body horror, people shit blowing out of them, and bugs and. Ugh.
Well, now, when did the movie and why the hell is the name eluding me suddenly? Could be the yeah, okay. But it's the one where the guy gets bitten by the monkey and becomes infected, and then brings the infection back to the States, and then all hell breaks loose.
Outbreak.
That's Outbreak.
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, no, not that one. No, this is the campy 80s horror movie.
Oh,
There's more than
you're talking
one.
about? Are you talking about Brain Dead? That's New Zealand.
Yes,
Oh,
Brain Dead.
Yeah, I believe it was
Totally
released
fucking
here as Dead
sanity.
Alive, but
Dead
it's
Alive.
officially-
Thank you very
yeah,
much.
Peter Jackson.
Peter
Yeah.
Jackson, early one.
That's the one I was trying to bring up right there, dude.
So
That
God
one
has
right
done
there.
Lord of the Rings.
That was
Yeah.
one of the most gory things I have ever watched. I mean, like, are you
Chaos.
kidding?
and
It
you
was
didn't like his other
insane.
movie.
I
loved
loved it.
Who
I did-
thought
I
you
thought
could go
it
through a
was-
crowd with a freaking lawnmower up
With
there?
a lawnmower, man. Literally,
I
just
know.
walking through. Are you kidding me?
That wasn't
was
an
when-
option.
Nobody's doing that nowadays.
I finally got the uncut version of that.
Oh,
It took
Mm.
it took years.
M. Night
reason-
Shyamalama Ding Dong did it when he had what movie
The
was
Happening.
The Happening.
Happening.
Yeah, I watched
The
that.
Happening. Yep.
Look,
Yeah,
here's the
he ra-
thing. If you
They
wanna
ran
use
over
more,
themselves.
yeah.
Technically,
If you
yeah.
want to use more like lawn equipment or farm machinery, and you got to set it in the Midwest. Like that's all you have to do.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because
True.
people in Arizona cannot relate at all.
But if we're gonna go with lawnmower death, we got to bring up Frankenhooker.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet. Haven't
You
seen that one
haven't?
yet.
Oh my
No,
god,
no.
it's so funny. I
Franken,
can't remember the. What's that?
Frankenhooker.
Franken, who's in what?
Frankenhooker.
Can you stop?
Oh, Jesus.
It is
So
as good as
so
it
basically,
sounds.
the main character's girlfriend, he gives a remote controlled lawnmower to her father for his birthday, and he's playing with it, and she gets in front of it, and she gets killed. But he's kind of like his evil genius, and it's like a Frankenstein movie. He puts her back together, but he has to get more parts, and I don't know. It's a crazy funny movie. It's a Henlotter movie, and he's the one that did Basket Case, a whole bunch of others that are very low budget but funny to watch and very, very gory.
Okay, crazy funny movie, Reanimator.
Reanimator
Yeah.
gotta
That's a
love
good
it.
one. That's a good one.
And Bride of Reanimator.
Yeah, I'm not saying I enjoyed Reanimator for anything other than the horror. There was definitely nothing in that movie that appealed to a young boy.
No.
Are you kidding? Are
No.
you forgetting a big
It-
scene with the head going down on the girl?
No, that there was
Nobody
definitely
did that.
no lady laid out on the slab. That did not happen at all. That
I love it.
Although,
Screaming Mad George effects.
you're a bit blurry, Dan. I can't
I'm
really
blurry?
see you very well, mate.
That's probably the alcohol.
It's probably copious amounts of masturbation as a teenager over the blonde laid out on the slab with their boobies out. But beside the point there,
Are your palms hairy though?
though, I have to shave them 3 times a day, Jeff.
So apparently those myths only happen across the pond because I haven't had to shave my hands. I can still see just fine, mostly.
Wearing
It's-
glasses.
it's- it's
the
natural
water, Dan. It's
baldness.
the water over here.
I said,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he didn't
just
masturbate
natural
till
baldness.
he
Jack, are you
blind.
saying you jerked off till you're bald?
No, he
No,
didn't
I'm saying
masturbate
for
till he
you,
went
it's
blind. He just did it
natural
when he needed
baldness.
corrective lenses.
And for me, My
At that age, mate, there
masturbation
wasn't much
only
I
takes
didn't
place
fucking jerk
when
off
I'm
to, I must admit.
thinking about Bigfoot.
Oh shit! Really? I
On
wasn't
that
prepared
note,
for that.
on
A
that
little
note,
bit too hairy for my
Jen, your
liking, but I've
on
had a
that
couple
note,
of
Jen,
girlfriends
your
like that,
thoughts
you know.
on this subject?
Masturbation.
Okay, which subject? I was going to say
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
subject.
what if
Anything.
And officially, the train left the damn tracks. We
Yeah,
almost made it.
I'm like, I don't have this problem. I don't have
You've
hairy
been
palms.
you've been sitting there with this
I know.
expression on your face.
My migraine
She's
is finally gone. I got a migraine the last podcast, and like I took some medication, so now my migraine is gone finally. Thank God. I
and she
caught it in
froze.
time.
That'll make her migraine come
Did I?
back.
That's
Did
right.
I?
Just rub one out. Headache goes away.
It's not true. I didn't. I took medicine.
Well, at least we
But-
got you to admit.
Medicine.
No, never mind.
Yeah, medicine, therapy, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it.
Take your pick. But
Oh, God.
I
what
will.
what year, decade was City of the Living Dead?
I love that one.
That was like
Was that
90.
80s?
That was
I'm a
90.
huge
Was
Fulci
it
fan. I
90s?
like all of those.
I've got to look it up now. I want to, because that one fucked me up as well. The bit where like they're sat in the car and the priest sort of like appears out the front and they're kind of sat there and the girl just vomits up her innards.
Intestines. She's just like,
Fucking hell, that messed me right up.
Yeah.
Ricky, you're forgetting the drill scene. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, that was
Oh
banned
god, that was
over here.
painful to watch.
Well,
That
now,
was-
hey, I know we're talking about '80s movies, but I'm going to bring up
City
a
of the Living
scene
Dead was
from a movie.
1980. Just throwing that
No,
in there,
not
Jack.
yet.
Sorry,
We're
mate.
still talking about City of Living Dead. Go ahead, Ricky.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I was just saying that when we had the VHS copies out over here, that part actually, where the dad grabs him, pins his head to the lathe, and then pushes, it actually goes black for about 15 seconds.
Oh, that's
it was
right. That was on the
only-
video nasty list.
It was only much later that I actually found a copy that had that bit, and the effects on that are phenomenal.
I know, because I mean, I'm still trying to figure out how they did it, because the drill bit goes in here and it's still spinning when it gets over here. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
how the hell did you pull that off?
Yeah, it's no wonder they banned it over here. But like I say, when the copy I borrowed, it was blacked out. You can hear it, but they've basically just turned the picture off for the rest of that scene. But yeah,
That must be so
showed the woman
frustrating.
vomiting up her guts and all sorts. And you had Driller Killer and all that band as well. It was
Yep. Toolbox Killer was another.
yeah. We banned a lot over here, but you know, at least
Yeah,
when we
just
started
some of
unbanning
those-
things,
some of those movies-
civilization like just got really better. We haven't gone downhill catastrophically in the past like 40, 50 years. So, oh wait,
Some of those movies had X ratings here, like Maniac Cop.
love that.
The first one I
Yeah.
think had an X rating when it came
Was
out.
that Harvey Keitel, or am I thinking of something else?
Maniac Cop. No, you're thinking of something else. You're thinking of Reservoir Dogs, maybe.
No, you're thinking of what, Bad Cop.
It was the no.
Bad
it was-
Lieutenant.
Bad Lieutenant. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking
Oh,
of.
that's it. Yeah. I gotcha. Yeah.
well, I need y'all to help me find a movie. So
It's behind your
there's
bed.
so there's a scene where the
How many are
killer.
you up to now, Dan?
What's that?
How many are you up
He-
to now, Dan?
Yeah,
About
Eagles.
10, 11.
yeah. So there's a scene where the killer has this woman strung up. You know, she's hanging up with her arms hung like yay, and she's just kind of hanging there. And he has strapped a metal bucket to her back. And inside metal bucket with the echo is a rat. And he puts a torch to the back of the bucket and starts heating it, causing the rat to eat its way through said woman.
Oh,
This movie is from the 80s, and I cannot remember the name of it, but that's the one kill that just stands out to me because it was so bad.
I know the
Like-
one you're talking about.
I've
Chick's
never seen
arms
it.
up
I'm looking
and
it up
she's
right now.
fighting and she can't get loose from it. I mean, it's like it's there. There's nothing she can do. And to me, that's what helped me. Damn you, Jennifer Amato. I'm going to admit it. I'm trying to write a short story right now, and I want the kills to be brutal.
How's that my fault?
Because you brought it up in the last damn show. But
I did.
I'm making
but-
I'm making my kills brutal, and I'm trying to focus with that one kill being the thing I lean back on, because that was one of the just most gnarly things that a teenage boy could ever witness.
Have you
Is
ever
this-
seen
Holy,
that bizarre way of killing? Stems from a series of movies starring Vincent Price.
I
called
love
the,
him. He's
called
God.
The Abominable Dr. Fives.
Fibs.
Yes.
Is it Fibes?
Yes.
He is, man.
Oh
Vincent
my
Price is
God.
God.
The frog mask.
The frog man.
Frogman.
Well, even the binoculars. Binoculars with spikes in the eye holes.
Yep.
Damn. By the way, Jack, Too Fast, Too Furious. That's the movie you're talking about.
Ah, okay.
I looked it up.
What?
I had to know.
Huh?
Well, man, Too Fast, Too Furious. That's the damn Vin Diesel stuff.
I know. Doesn't belong on the show. I'm just kidding.
No,
No, it's got. You can even watch a clip of the rat scene right here on YouTube.
no
Yeah,
shit.
it's a popular torture method with like cartels and stuff. Doesn't surprise me it's in that.
Hmm.
It's been in a handful of movies, to be honest, because like once somebody who writes for a living finds out about that shit, as you guys are probably going to demonstrate at some point, it's gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
used.
Well, like I said, I
One-
actually use, and I'll admit it up front right now, I use a lot of Jeff Thompson sarcasm when I'm writing.
No way.
I do. Yeah. Go figure, right?
You're
I
lying.
had one result come up, Jack, but I don't know whether it's right. It's Epitaph. It mentions about a lady being killed with a rat. That was 87.
That would be the right time frame. So it is probably Epitaph. So everybody go find Epitaph,
Yeah, I'm not.
because I'm gonna go find it.
I'm not.
There's
100%.
an interesting. I forget when this came out. There's an interesting rat killing in The Bone Collector. Denzel Washington.
Yeah,
Angelina
Denzel.
Jolie. You guys ever see that one, The Bone Collector?
Oh yeah. But
There's that
Pretty
scene
sure
where
I've seen
I'll
it.
probably again.
they stick the rat on that guy. You remember what I'm talking about?
I'll have to go back and rewatch this fucked up shit.
Yeah,
I
that
may have blocked
scene
it out of
doesn't sound
memory.
familiar.
Oh no, there's some great kills in that movie. He kills his victims in some really bizarre ways.
I haven't seen it for
That's-
a long time. I don't remember it.
See, that's how I want to write. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I want to just wreck the characters. Is there anything weird about that? Something wrong with that?
Well, think about whoever created the idea for that one. I mean, inventive kills or almost kills. 7.
7.
Oh, and hey,
yeah.
Jason, by the way, you didn't make it into the first book or first short story, but
I'm cool. I'll die at some point.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
and very
Oh, where?
gratuitously, I might say.
Hey, if you want to have fun with it, make it my fault.
Even better.
Oh, he's having fun with it. Definitely. I mean,
Yeah, actually, right now I'm on this show with you guys when I could be over here writing. Come on,
No,
Jeff,
it's just-
chastise me.
it's hilarious watching him.
Well, not
He's-
specifics. No, I don't have a movie narrowed down in my head, but I always liked that moment where like they almost got away, but they turned down the wrong hallway or grabbed the wrong key or whatever. They fucked up, turned around, and boom.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
Evil
actually-
Dead ended like that. Oh, it's morning. I'm finally out. And he turns around and gets him.
I'll say the first episode of Cabin of Curiosities.
Oh yeah, I watched
Yeah,
that.
Terrible.
I'm not going to go into
I haven't
specifics.
seen
People
that
who
yet.
just watched or haven't watched it yet. It just came out, but if you've seen it, you know.
Yeah,
You know
don't
what?
bother.
It was surprisingly good.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was shit.
I've been really I don't know. Del Toro just took this nosedive after a certain movie, and I haven't really been happy with anything. But this one pretty good for an anthology.
Say he came up with it, but in each story, I think, is directed or created by a different
Yeah,
person.
Yeah,
he's got other
Dumbo.
people doing it, and he's doing the total Alfred Hitchcock thing. I think
Yeah.
that's funny as hell.
Yeah, the only one I enjoyed was the autopsy.
Ooh.
I
Which
don't
one?
think I've seen that one.
No, not
The
yet.
third one where there's the explosion in the mine, and the coroner comes in to do the autopsy overnight. That was the only good one. Like the first one, like without spoilers, the character's just such a goon.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then at the end, the way that he releases the thing, it's like, did you really just do it? Yeah, it didn't do it for me. Cabinet of Curiosities.
hey.
I got myself way too hyped up for it. And
I
it was
totally
just-
respect where Ricky's coming from, but that's just a thing. It's in the States. You wouldn't believe how many people like that are walking around.
yeah,
You really wouldn't.
it's just spoiler alert. Anybody that doesn't want any spoilers, cover your ears, cover your ears, cover your ears. 3, 2, 1. When they walk into that fucking demon room with the demon on the fucking pentagram
Mm-hmm.
with tentacles writhing through the corpse face, covered in fucking dust that holds the demon back, and the geezer's like, "No, I'm going to step all through that dust and kick it everywhere, even though the demon tentacles are fucking writhing, just to get this book because I'm a greedy character."
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, you would have walked 1 yard around. You wouldn't kick the fucking dust, you absolute moron.
Oh, that's the thing. People like that, and I say this from fucking experience because I hate them all. If there is ever a group of people I hate, they're that guy.
They can't.
It
they've
doesn't
got to
matter
be a
if
caricature.
every-
They can't be.
If every obvious thing in the world is telling them don't do something, they are so convinced they are right and narrow-minded. That's the guy. I'm sorry, and there's Jen knows me well enough to know it doesn't apply to everybody. But if you're that guy in the horror situation, I will leave you to die, if not shoot you in the leg to make sure I get away.
Yep.
And they're so
if
easy
you are
to
that
spot.
asshole, you've become a liability, and you might be in a zombie movie. You are mobile meals or distraction. That's your new name.
Yeah.
Now, the biggest difference between the 80s movies and the ones that come out today is that the 80s movies were just as stupid and had just as many plot holes, but they didn't take themselves so seriously.
Yeah.
The movies today, you can tell these filmmakers are taking themselves way too seriously.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
And the result is the movies just aren't that entertaining.
No.
No.
Or they're trying to do the art house thing.
I know.
Yeah,
It's,
look, if you look at the horror directors, like the big ones, the ones we all know of, the ones we love of the 80s, the ones that made the good movies, even if it was bad, they had fun doing it.
Oh, yeah. Well, John Carpenter.
Yeah.
He had fun doing it.
Every goddamn one.
Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, he had a lot of
had
fun.
fun doing it. Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
He's having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Jackson had a lot of fun.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Bad Taste.
Yeah.
Bad Taste.
Bad Taste.
Meet the Feebles.
Look, it's
Yeah,
not
it's
overly great, but like John Carpenter, I liked Vampires. That was one of the ones that came out when I was a
I
kid.
love it.
I grew up with it.
Great. That's
Yeah.
great.
What's
You
that?
knew
James
how it was
Woods,
going to
yeah.
end. You knew everything about it. James Woods' whole character was like the biggest movie cliche ever, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Because that's the character. We all knew it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And he had all the great wood jokes.
Yeah,
You know?
teak, mahogany.
Well, even
Yep,
something like
mahogany.
Escape from New York,
Oh shit.
Yeah.
which is a serious movie, but you can tell they were having fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one with all great characters.
Oh yeah,
Simple plot line, bunch of great characters.
you know, Kurt Russell, Harry Dean Stanton,
Mhm.
Adrian Barbeau,
Isaac
Isaac
Hayes.
Hayes. Yeah, that's it. And the doctor from Halloween.
Oh,
Yeah, he was the president, right?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. It's,
yeah, we
Donald
all do. We can't
Pleasance?
think of his name.
I can't think of his name.
Is it Donald Pleasance?
Yeah,
Donald
thank
Pleasance.
you,
That's it.
Donald Pleasance.
Good Paul. Good Paul.
He's been in a ton of good movies. That guy.
Phenomenal. Going back
You know,
to
for a split
vampires.
second, I thought
Yeah,
Ricky
has
was
anybody
dressed like a
mentioned
furry.
the Lost Boys yet?
What's that?
No, Lost Boys.
84? Was it
Absolutely.
84?
April Fools. God, Ricky knows
No.
all the obscure
No,
ones.
the Lost Boys.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Everybody
Awesome.
loves it.
If you can't have
And
a
they're
naked,
talking about
sweaty
and they're
saxophone solo in that movie,
Yeah, I
where,
was just
where
gonna
else can you
say.
have it?
and they're
Where-
talking
where
about
else can you find
remaking
that?
it. They're talking about
Yeah,
remaking
it
it. It's like,
looks
You
fuck
better
you.
shut your mouth. That better not be true.
Yeah.
They're talking
I
about it.
sent Jeff a picture of the cast. It looks absolutely pathetic.
It's
Yes.
horrible. It's horrible.
It is 2022 Hollywood reimagining. It looks awful.
They need to start
Absolutely
coming up with
awful.
their own stuff and leave our shit alone.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's
Well,
like
that's the problem with Hollywood now. The imagination's gone.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's let's remake this big hit.
Oh,
Look,
why
I don't
did
want
it
to sound
make
like
us
the
money
asshole
same way
guys,
it
but
did
I don't
before?
want to see a transgender vampire movie. I just don't.
But you don't have a choice these days, Dan. You will watch it and you will enjoy it.
I tend not to watch them. I'm pulling a Jen. I'm
don't
10
watch-
minutes in and I'm done.
Yep, I don't watch American Horror Story anymore.
It just
I haven't
got-
watched
it-
that for about 3 seasons.
Yeah,
Wow.
it just got a little bit too much.
I've-
didn't
I've
it?
seen one episode.
They are doing a lot too much. They went very woke on a lot of things, and
Ah.
it's really not that necessary.
No.
Yeah, I have no problem with any of the name your prejudice subgroup. I have no problem with,
Name your initial. It's not an issue.
I have no problem with
Mm-mm.
any of that.
Nope.
But to insert it where it doesn't fit,
My
Just for the sake of
problem-
inserting it.
My
Yeah.
problem with American Horror Story is for the last couple seasons, they have made it a focal point. I don't think that that's what the movement meant.
Look, I'm not going to go all political with it. I'm not
Steering
gonna
away from
say
that, yeah.
I'm not going to say I have any opinion whatsoever on it. But I always looked at horror
Oh,
the
dude,
same way I
shit.
look at fantasy or whatever, any other kind of movie genre, whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
You don't have to base that in anything
Mhm.
going on in popular culture right now.
No, just
No.
make it gross and scary.
Well, that's the whole point. Is and
Yes.
at its core, movies, books, whatever kind of entertainment media, it's escapism. I don't want to
Yeah.
look at the shit that's going on outside. Can you show me something fucked up or funny or
Exactly.
one? Okay, everybody knows here that in all action movies, for instance, it's never going to be one guy who can beat an army. But in a fucking action movie, he could.
Hey, Batista took out a whole army of zombies. Don't you talk shit about Batista.
Oh, I am allowed, especially if he fucks up what he's trying to throw his hat or his name in the hat of right now.
Yeah, listen.
That's my generation of shit in video games. So he better not fuck it up if he gets it.
Oh boy, barista fight.
No,
Ah.
Dave Bautista is throwing his name in the hat for Gears of War.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
read that.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
I
but-
like him as an
He's one of the
actor.
few humans who actually looks like one of those characters.
I mean, he did
That
great
is
in
true.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
He
yeah.
did great in
I liked
Guardians
him
of
in
the
Army
Galaxy.
of the Dead.
I
Here was the
even
whole
saw
thing.
him. I saw him in another movie. It wasn't Army of the Dead or anything like that. It was another dystopian end of the world movie. I thought he was great in that one too. He's
Yeah.
a decent actor. Not taking that away from him at all. But I just wasn't a huge fan of Army of the Dead. Or
Yeah.
I
yeah,
thought that film was
Army of the
terrible.
Dead's a piece of shit.
well, it's 'cause
I
it was
wouldn't
made
say
today.
that, but it
I
may
would.
not be the greatest zombie movie, but I actually
would.
found some entertainment in it. I like the safe crack.
Yeah,
Look, I just got
Yes.
a kick out of him as an actor, because I'm a dork. Realizing how many ad libs he had in the Guardian series and got
Oh.
away with.
yeah.
Right?
Like, okay, clearly he understood his shit.
He's hysterical.
One of the funniest ones in that is when he's pretending that he's so dangerous and stealthy that he's invisible. And he's like, you can't see
Yes.
me. And they're like, we can literally see you. No, you can't.
Where's Gamora? Who's Gamora?
was
Why is
wetting
Gamora?
Oh, what is that? Mystery Man.
Oh shit!
Mystery Man?
Mystery Man.
Yes.
With William Macy and
Ben Stiller,
Ben
Paul Herman.
Stiller. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that.
You know what? I think I did see that.
That
They're all
movie's
like
a-
really bad superheroes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
okay,
weird,
I've seen
it's
it.
terrible, but it's a fucking riot if you just
Oh,
don't
I
take
thought
it
that was.
seriously.
I thought that was kick-ass.
No. No.
That was a
that's-
good film as well. But
Yeah.
Well, strangely enough, same concept.
Okay,
Pretty
that's what I'm
much.
saying.
But
right, let's pull up
anyway,
some others. There's another one that I saw on the list. Poltergeist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Can
Oh,
we just
yeah.
talk
Almost-
about that creepy lady for a minute?
She
Which
wasn't
one?
that creepy.
The old
The old broad, Zelda Rubinstein.
Oh,
That
yeah.
creepy.
The house
Irritating.
is clear.
Mhm.
yeah.
That little lady was something else. I guess she was in a couple other movies, and she was.
Yeah.
They were always paranormal. Because
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
looking through the list, and then another movie that she had done from the 80s. Can't remember. Hold on, I'm looking. Oh man, of course it moved.
I find it funny she thinks she was creepy, given, and that's when we started hanging out with all the people that she met in her metaphysical shop.
Ha.
All those people, and that woman still kind of unnerves you.
Yeah, the movie was Anguish from back in
Oh, I've seen that.
1987. A controlling mother uses telepathic powers to send her middle-aged son on a killing spree.
Oh,
Sounds cheesy, but
as
okay.
you do.
That sounds like
Well, yeah, all of us witches do that, didn't you know?
that sounds like someone read word for word somebody's case for temporary insanity after they did
Right.
something.
Mhm.
My mom made me do it. Sounds like the Berkowitz thing.
I just didn't need to hear it out loud. Damn it!
So
But going
that
back
little
to Poltergeist
that-
2, was anybody
little
else
lady
freaked
is
out
nuts.
by the old guy in it?
Poltergeist 2.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
old guy.
Yeah.
Talking
I
about
know what
the-
you're talking
he-
The
about.
old dead minister guy.
Yeah,
He's
fuck,
creepy.
I had nightmares about him, I tell you.
Mhm.
You know, just if we're talking about Poltergeist 2, when he's walking down the sidewalk, just looking at her with that
Yes.
grin, fuck, about pissed myself.
Yeah.
Ever see that dude fucking walking down my street? I'm killing him.
But
No.
you know, it's just those little scenes, isn't it? You know,
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
little
nothing
thing. Yeah.
that
these
guy.
days. Nothing sticks with you like those little tidbits, you know, that crawl under your skin and just take root forever.
Exorcist 3.
Love it.
The one with George C. Scott.
Fucking
So
love
did
that
Jeffrey
one.
Dahmer, apparently.
That scene with the
Yeah.
oh god. That's one
You
of the very few jump scares that actually worked on me.
Mhm.
Yeah. That one's famous. That whole
Oh
scene.
yeah.
I saw that in the theater, and
So
when
did
it
I.
happened,
So did I.
me and all my friends jumped. It's like, whoa!
It was awesome.
Wasn't expecting it.
But anyway, we're coming towards the end here, and I know there's a lot of stuff going on. So, Ricky, you got a new one come out. I just came out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not very good.
You always
Fuck
say
you.
that.
I wouldn't waste my time. No, it going back to sort of Angel again. I'd seen him mention, his sort of forays into the city building lit RPG.
Mhm.
Now I'm of the age when we had the choose your own adventure book.
Yeah.
You'd have a couple of pages, and you'd be fighting the dragon, and it would be like turn to page such and such to swing your axe and this, that, and the other. And inevitably, I'd turn to the wrong page and get myself killed. So I didn't really know what it was all about, but just on a whim a few months ago, I kind of had a little look through because Amazon doesn't even recognize it as a genre yet. There's no tags, there's no categories for lit RPG in any shape or form. But I went on there, and I obviously I've got some of Angel's first books. I haven't got all the series, the Minos series, but I've got some of the books. And I found ones I enjoy the city building stuff, but it wasn't really something I could see myself writing. So I read some other bits and pieces. He Who Fights with Monsters, Primal Hunter, and one that really sort of stuck with me because it's like sarcastic and zany was Dungeon Crawler Carl, by a guy called Matt Dinman. He's like a heavy metal enthusiast. And it's known as System Apocalypse. So basically the premise is that bad people or sort of beings above our level sort of put us through trials to sort of prove our worth. And his book's phenomenal. So I sort of came up with the premise for Mark of the Fated just on a bit of a whim, really, as it was. And it basically follows a guy called Mark who volunteers to be put into trials to spare our planet from destruction. The main difference being is he sort of earns levels, extra strength, extra loot, different weapons, different armor sets, different achievements, different spells, different abilities, different pets that he gains along the way. And it's basically the first book is him going through the tutorial, sort of finding his way, and then fighting through basically a Wish version of Lord of the Rings. There's been a sort of orc uprising in a world. He's sent to that world to fight and put down the orc uprising. So basically, it's just like a sort of a game, but in book form. 220,000 words, 800 pages. And it's doing phenomenally well. I'm sort of pushing 100,000 page reads so far this week, so it's
awesome.
It's doing really, really well. So I'm kind of hoping I can build on that momentum and sort of keep it going. But yeah, it was great fun to write. I will go back to my sort of post APOC, but this has kind of got me by the short and curlies at the moment, and I'm absolutely loving it.
You got to go with the hot story. And speaking of hot story, as the cat butt gets in the way, Jennifer,
Jeffrey,
tell us all about it.
She
give us the
froze.
rundown. She froze.
She's Jack Frozen.
God damn this internet.
There she is.
God damn this internet.
So when somebody else does it, are we just calling that jacking off now?
Yep, that was a good one.
Mine would be the O face, isn't it? Just saying.
But of course.
I don't get paid enough for this.
So talk about it. Tell us about your book.
Oh, my book. Yeah, it released November 10th. Came out. I'm just waiting to get I'm just waiting for everything to get put in paper to be able to have people order the paperback, but it is available on Kindle right now. on Amazon. So go check it out. But it's pretty much the series is called The Group and the book is called Jana. We're going to go through 4 particular people in the book. And there might, I completely forgot that there's supposed to be a possible novella of a little offshoot of a group of people. But basically in my series, The Group, there is going to be 4 people, and the first book is Jana, and Jana is a transplant from the UK to the armpit of Ohio, Toledo, Ohio. It's pretty much probably where she got dropped off and left and was like, okay, well, I guess we'll make this work. But she's in Toledo. She has just happened upon the apocalypse just started, the zombie apocalypse just started, and she's pretty much just wandering through trying to make things work. She's a former alcoholic trying to continue her sobriety in the new place where life has just took a shit right on top of her, and so she's trying to stay sober. She meets up with some people. She's still trying to figure out life with those people and trying to also keep them safe and keep herself sane. So at the end of this series, it's going to get real bad as the longer the series goes on. And by the time the last book comes out, which is Jason, based on ours right here, our Mr. Jason Aston. He is my muse for that 4th book, but and my actual muse for Jana is in the UK. So she but as it goes along, the worse it's going to get. The first book is actually a little soft on the gore and stuff like that, but it is definitely getting worse the more books come out.
Nice.
I haven't started reading it yet, but I got my copy.
Oh, thank you.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
it popped
got
right
mine.
up on the
I got
release date.
mine.
Yeah,
I
got
got
mine.
mine.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yep. So Jason's going to be a comedy then, right?
Jason is actually the hero in this one.
Holy
Believe
crap.
it or not. Yeah.
Well, that's
believe it or
easy when
not,
everybody else is
Real life,
dead.
then.
He's actually
Come
gonna
on,
be the
Jason. That was
hero.
kind of funny.
Hey, you keep your expectations low. You never know what'll happen. I'm just saying. Story of my
very
life. Anyway.
Early zombie outbreak.
That's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Tim,
really hard to wipe with a Kindle. I'm just saying.
That's true.
What's that?
Pretty hard to write what?
It's pretty hard to wipe with a Kindle. I'm just
Oh, that is true.
Okay, so now for me, next week I will be at the 20 books to 50K Writers Conference here in Vegas.
Nice.
There are 1,900 of us
Holy
Yeah.
moly!
descending on this place.
Sweet.
Gonna be a lot of drinking that
I'd
night.
love to make it to one of those.
It's 4 days. It's 4 days.
4 days.
4 days. It's
It's like Comic-Con for writers.
seriously, seriously. So I'm going to try and do some live podcasts from the conference. See if I can't grab some authors to do interviews or whatever.
Mm.
It depends on the Wi-Fi at Bally's, so I don't know. We'll see.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, good luck with it, mate. I hope it goes really well.
It'll be a lot of fun, and then of course the epic mayhem continues.
Yes, it does.
There are 10 more spots available for people who want to die horribly in this 3rd book, Senseless Slaughter. So go into Asylum of Fear. There's plenty of posts in there. Put your name on it, and I will kill you horribly.
Where else do you hear that?
Yeah. Where else can you get away with saying that?
And
Yeah.
it's for the entertainment of other readers. So, come on. But anyway, last thoughts, anybody, everybody?
I don't have anything.
Ricky.
I'll jump in. Yeah, no, I've had an absolute blast tonight. It's one of my favourite topics is the old 80s, simply because it's incomparable. You know, everything has just been a downward slope into a slurry pit of talentless shit. So I can fire up the old VHS tapes and, you know, live a time that was a lot better. You know, no social media. If I wanted to know if my mates were in, I'd cycle a couple of miles to their house, knock their door, only to find they'd gone out, and then have to cycle all the way home again, disappointed. Better times.
How do you really feel, Ricky? Just don't hold
Well,
that shit back.
Right?
Yeah, don't
I
hold back.
really need to start letting things out because I think it's going to manifest in like ulcers and other things. So
Oh, for
I'll
sure.
work on
Serial
it.
killing, you know.
That doesn't help.
Just some
funnily
light
enough,
talking.
or so I've heard.
Jason, any thoughts?
Not usually. No, I'm honestly kind of surprised we stayed on topic as long as we fucking did. That's got to be
The
one of
whole
those
show.
times.
Yeah,
Yes,
it just
the
shows
This
how
has
entire
never
show.
happened.
is.
We still managed to take to knock all the wheels off, but
Well, yeah.
The
If
axles
we
are
didn't,
still
that's where
driving
I would
along
be
the
truly
track,
we're
though.
getting more focused. It's great. We're learning how to balance. Getting more
Look at
focused.
everyone.
Well, yeah, but-
I'm so proud.
but
It's
next
going to go
time will
horribly
be
wrong next time.
next time will be a complete clusterfuck. So.
Of course it will.
See,
We
I
can only
think
hold
because-
on to that for so long.
I think you guys had me distracted because it's a subject I knew a lot about. So I have this whole page of zingers, and I didn't get a chance to throw none of them out.
Ah. Throw some now. Go, Dan.
Yeah. Come on.
Okay, everything's a dildo if you're enough. That
And it picks his internet picks that moment.
He's froze. He's jacked. He's jacked.
He's jacking off.
You've
See?
It
jacked.
doesn't look comfortable.
Yes.
Oh, no, we have actually lost him and all.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
all.
maybe.
He started out that quote and realized he had to plug in. Like, oh wait, now I'm uncomfortable.
Well, okay, on that stellar note,
Oh, hold on 1 second. Tim Brooks, thank you for getting the book. That's all. Thank you.
and
Good
thanks,
man,
Tim,
Tim.
as usual, for being the comment ninja.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and Chance and the unknown Facebook user that mentioned humanoids from the deep. I haven't
Yes.
seen that one, but I will do now.
Me neither. Never heard of it. Probably won't watch it though.
I will look it up.
What? No, I am serious, John. If you want to really learn how a story works,
Uh-huh. Not 80s?
watch a bunch of movies,
Okay.
good ones and bad ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Watch
mean,
them
'cause-
all the way through,
Oh.
so
Okay.
you see how they're put. Watch them as a critic. If you think a movie sucks, watch it with that in mind. Figure out why it sucks.
Some things can be
Okay.
used, in fact, as a bad example, other than us.
Yes. You
They
learn,
don't come much worse, do they?
you learn how not to do it.
Okay.
Another
will.
good thing to look up as well, Jen, is the 3-act structure.
Okay.
That's it. That's kind of what I sort of work. It's about the slow building of sort of obstacles, you know, building towards the peak and the finale, and then like the steady tapering off, you know, introduction of like the sort of like the Easter eggs of what's coming next, and that kind of thing. But there's if you just Google it and go on images, there's a
Okay.
nice sort of like
A flow
sort of
chart.
the bar that details, you know, like introduction of certain things, and then you know an obstacle for the character to overcome, and then a twist, and you know that's I change it up quite a lot because I do my own thing regardless, but
Yeah.
I always build to a finale, then it all goes completely batshit crazy, Then the last couple of chapters are just a kind of, slow resolution, tying up a couple of loose ends and dropping a couple of hints of what's
Yeah.
coming next, kind of thing.
Unless, of course, you're writing epic mayhem, and then you have these jokers saying, no, there's not enough violence. You need more.
Look, if you say gratuitous and senseless, believe me, we've got some bars you need to get up above.
I mean, body count. I blew up a fucking museum,
Yes, you
and
did.
it wasn't enough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, honestly, the person that you sent that to that said that, she's read your other stuff. She knows you.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we have. I mean, like, the bar set really high, like Jason said.
Mhm.
You got a high bar. You got to
You
leave
don't
there,
want
pal.
to fall into the pit of, oh, it wasn't as good as the first one. You got to keep getting more outrageous and fucked up as you go.
Absolutely.
And so
Anyway.
far, I've managed. But
You
anyway,
really have. I'm actually real proud of you. You really have.
Yeah.
Yes, but anyway, we have come to the end. Thank you all
Mhm.
for joining us here. Thanks to Clarence, Tim, and Facebook user, and whoever else has watched. If you guys, if anybody out there has a suggestion for a topic for us to completely fuck up, by all means, put it in there. And maybe Jen and Jason will stop having secret conversations on the side.
No, it's nothing like that. There was a
It's
comment
never
made
gonna
earlier.
happen,
I had
Jeff.
evidence
It's never
of.
gonna happen.
I will have you know, the side convo did not happen until literally just now.
Yeah.
Sure it did. Sure.
I had
It's like a
Swear to
show
God.
with
Okay.
the show
Okay.
within a show.
We were making each other fun of each other's screens freezing, and I may have had photographic evidence of the last time.
He
Horde
had
did.
photographic evidence. There is no May about it, and I expect a
Okay.
meme.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
I expect a meme. And actually, you could also send that to Dan. I'm expecting great works from him.
Oh, done.
Send it
He
over.
said done. He's like, all right, yes.
He's already made it.
Yeah, it's already out there.
Okay, folks.
Okay,
we will
people.
see you again in 2 weeks for the 20th episode.
Man, what are we gonna do?
I
God.
don't know.
Anal leakage.
We might have to blow some
Got it,
shit
Jason.
up, I think.
Oh, can we?
I will definitely try to make it. I don't know what my schedule is going to be.
In 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
I'm
schedule will
actually-
be fine, Jason.
I'm training for something else.
Your schedule will be fine, Jason.
All right.
For a few, like a month or.
Gee, thanks.
Hey, I'm just telling you.
That actually wasn't entirely on purpose. I've had just enough beer. I am like spitting all over the place right now. God damn it.
Which
Jason,
brings
I
us-
am so memeing this photo.
I
Oh,
told
bet.
you.
Yep, this is a good one, Jen.
All I
You've
ask-
become a legend.
You're welcome. Fun at
All I
my
ask is you
expense.
send it to me first so I can post it on her actual door, not her wall.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Enough of this silliness. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Take it easy.